It's something that'll change the world and human life as we know it.
He knows. He's seen the light.
When Monty talks, it's painful.
Monty, you have been so instrumental in kind of pointing me in the right direction.
It was about looking at your character defects in spirituality.
It's the integration of clinical practices with the 12 steps.
It's an absolute pleasure. He certainly knows a lot of people. He's got a lot of energy. And sometimes when you don't have so much energy, he picks you up and carries you.
Having the Monty man there certainly helps.
This is one of the places that is about the business of the solution.
The views expressed on this special broadcast of the Take 12 radio show do not necessarily reflect those of KHLT Recovery Broadcasting or its affiliates. KHLT is not affiliated with any particular 12-step fellowship.
Now here's that guy who's getting less popular minute by minute, your host, the Multi-Man.
And greetings, one and all. Welcome aboard the Good Ship Recovery. You guys are so fortunate to be tuning in because I got to tell you, we have a musician and a member of the recovery community today that is an incredibly talented man. I believe that God has anointed him with the ability to do what he does. Joe Fingas, a.k.a. Joe Fingas, is with us today. We're going to be listening to some of his music. He's going to be sharing his experience, strength, and hope. You're really going to love this. And one song you're probably going to recognize, because we play it a lot on Take 12 Radio, is going to be the first song we're going to listen to. But before we do all that, let me remind you once again, I know you get tired of me hearing it, but I think it bears repeating. Please enter the Recovery Cartoon Caption Contest. Go to take12radio.com on your internet browser and click on Recovery Cartoons. There you will find a cartoon that has no caption. And we have a new one every month. That is your job, is to decide what the caption should be. It doesn't have to be funny. It can be serious. It can be sad. It can be angry. It can be glad. Whatever it is, the only thing we ask is that you keep it family friendly and recovery focused in some way, shape, or form. And enter that thing. Just click on Recovery Cartoons. There's the cartoon. There's all the months before that are there with the authors of the captions' names accredited to the cartoon. And we want your input. If you win for whatever month you enter, if you win, you get a free live DVD of Mark Lundholm's Addiction, a Comedy of Substance, and a bonus CD, one of his comedy CDs called How Is That Funny? And we'll send that to you, and it's all for fun and for free. We don't give out your email to anybody or any of that stuff. It's just for fun and for free. So you're sitting there going, well, I really can't think of a caption. I'm just not that good at that kind of stuff. Enter anyway. You never know. What one person thinks is appropriate for a cartoon, somebody else may not, and vice versa. Just enter. All right? We want your viewpoint on those cartoons. All right. There that is there. Yesterday on the show, we had a phenomenal lady on, and I want you to know that if you missed yesterday's show, Thursday's show, you can click on the Thursday box at take12radio.com and listen to the show again. You listen to it all week, and then you can go to the archives. It says this show's archives. You can go to the archives and listen to it too. Same thing with this show. If you are, maybe you're listening to it right now and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I forgot I got an appointment in 10 minutes. That's okay. You can come on tomorrow and click on Friday's link. You can always go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can listen to all of our shows as well. Well, there that is there. Listen, we're going to take, we got to listen to our sponsors for this part of the show. And when we come back, we're going to be talking to Mr. Joe Fingas, my buddy, and a phenomenal musician who's got a story of experience, strength, and hope. and he's going to be sharing his music with us when we come back. Don't go away. When it comes to drug and alcohol treatment, all of us here at Take 12 Radio understand how overwhelming it is to find the right facility for you and your loved one. The internet alone is flooded with drug and alcohol treatment centers claiming to be the one that can help achieve a life of abundance free from addiction. How can one possibly know which one to choose? Well, when you call Broad Highway Recovery for a drug and alcohol treatment referral, you will immediately know that the person who answers the phone is very passionate about making sure they recommend the best facility for the individual that's in need. They will narrow your search down to 3 drug rehab facilities based on the information that you provide. Each call is confidential, and each caller will be treated with the utmost respect and compassion. Look it, you don't have to go through this alone. The folks at Broad Highway are interventionists that are 100% committed to helping your family. If you are willing to go to any length for your loved one, then they can help you begin the recovery process. Please call them today and take the first step towards a new and bright future on the Broad Highway of recovery from alcohol and drug addiction. Their toll-free number is 877-487-1599. That's 877-487-1599. Visit their website at broadhighwayrecovery.com.
He's a little crazy, but then again, you already knew that.
I got in like 3 fights when I was in grade school. All 3 of them were with the bully. You know, we all know who they are. They're always a little bit bigger, they kind of smelly, and we duke it out. And after he beat the snot out of me, I'd say, "You come back tomorrow and I'll give you more of that."
It's the Bill Post Radio Show. Bill Post Radio Show. Weekdays at noon.
Last year, I went with my dad on a business trip to the other side of the country. I'll never forget the look of hopelessness in his eyes when he realized there were no 12-step meetings in the area. You see, my dad was an alcoholic, and he really needed a drink that day. With today's technology, I can't help but think that there must have been a way for people like my dad to get help when they can't find a meeting.
Well, now there is. Introducing Sober Chat, the first location-sensitive mobile chat application designed to instantly connect people with the common goal to stay sober. For only 99 cents a year, you can download Sober Chat to your smart device or phone, or better yet, give it as the gift of life to someone you love. Visit soberchatapp.com and register today.
Maybe if my dad could have spoken with another alcoholic that night, it wouldn't be just me and my mom now.
AA made all the difference in my life. I noticed that most of the goals I had as a kid were slipping by. I didn't feel like the person I hoped to be. After all those years of drinking, I really didn't know myself. When I was out there drinking, I was always looking for the next great party to make me feel all right. With AA, I found a better way of life. And I feel good in my everyday life, even without a drink in my hand. Alcoholics Anonymous. It works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
Hey, it's Artie Kornfeld, and you're listening to Take 12 Radio, recovery talk, and positive music.
I didn't think it was possible for me to be an alcoholic. I was 24 with a good career. I thought I was too smart and that alcoholism only happened to middle-aged men and celebrities. I thought something else was making me sick, shaky, and afraid to face people. Then I found AA and discovered it wasn't something else. It was alcohol. AA helped me find a new life. Alcoholics Anonymous. It works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
Men, women, and their families experience tremendous pain and suffering due to the struggles they face from substance abuse and its co-occurring mental health challenges. They need to find a safe place for peace and healing. The Rabia Addiction Healing Center was born out of a deep desire to provide that safe and powerful healing environment. The Rabia exists to help people recover from addictions by developing and maintaining healthy, meaningful relationships with God, self, and others. To speak with an addiction specialist, call 1-855-652-4325. That's 1-855-652-4325. Or visit our website at www.therapia.net. Therapia Addiction Healing Center, restoring lives one step at a time.
Well, welcome back, my friends, and we've got a real treat for you today. You're going to love this music. This is Joe Fingas. He's a phenomenal recording artist. He's a recovery recording artist. He plays phenomenal ivories. He tickles the ivories. I met Joe online years ago when we were doing the radio show, and then I met him face-to-face at the 12-Step Music Fest years ago in the Florida Keys. And you can't find a nicer guy. He's just a tremendous guy. And he's got a story to tell, and he's got music to share. Welcome, Joe, my good friend, to Take 12 Recovery Radio once again. Welcome, Joe.
Hey, thanks, Monty.
Well, you're an amazing performer, and you've been doing this for... How long have you been playing?
I've been playing probably ever since I was 8 or 9 years old. That's 45 years, 40 years.
Wow. So okay, but before we listen to some of your music, Joe, you've got a story to tell. I mean, things weren't always hunky dory, right?
Oh no, they weren't. No.
What was going on?
Well, I mean, I was born into an alcoholic family. I was listening to, the advertisement for the sober chat thing, and certainly my father was an alcoholic. He was a brilliant man who had his problems. He did finally get sober and had lived his last 13 years sober, but during my childhood, he was well into his alcoholism, and it affected the entire family. I was the oldest of four kids, and I became kind of like a surrogate father, and always promising my mother I wouldn't do what my father was doing, only to fail her. When I was about 15 years old and started drinking, and it went downhill from there pretty quick, and certainly, although my lifelong love has been music, I pretty much forgot about that I'd say for at least 10 years, 15 to 25.
Yeah.
The only time I ever played really then was to make drinks. I mean, I didn't make tips, I made drinks, and I played all up and down the West Coast basically for drinks and drugs and stuff like that.
Right. Well, you draw a crowd wherever you go. You played at several recovery functions as well. How are you received amongst the recovery community?
Oh, I'm received very well amongst the recovering community.
Yeah.
They, I started doing that in because I was afraid to go into the into the club scene or the bar scene when I got sober, and so in the clubhouse that I belonged to in Florida, I would start playing there and play at functions there, and basically I cut my teeth coming back into the entertainment business with recovering people, and the reception was, I was very well received from the beginning, and I've continued to, love playing for recovering people ever since. They're the best audience. You get a real good gauge, of where you're coming from, and the people are clean and sober listening to you, so, you better be on your best form. You can't get sloppy and depend on them being drunk or high or something.
That's right. You bet. Now, tell the listeners the address of your website.
Oh, it's my website is Joe Fingas, JoeFingas, .com. I mean, you get into the website that way. www.joefingers.
Fingas.com.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? See, that's the problem, because I went to Joe Fingers, FINGERS.com. So that's why you were an Australian.
Right.
Oh, that's...
I have won awards. I represented the Northwest Florida Blues Society in Memphis 3 years in a row, you know, as their representative for what they call the International Blues Challenge, you know. Like you said, recognized throughout the recovery community, and you know, and been nominated for several local awards here for pianist and blues musician and songwriter and vocalist and stuff like that.
Right. Right. Well, you are an extremely talented man, and you really you're giving away your talent. I mean, God's given you a great talent, and you're sharing that with people, and you're doing this thing all sober, and that's just a phenomenal thing in and of itself. I mean, how long have you been around the rooms of recovery, Joe?
Well, okay, I'll be sober 37 years in September.
Wow.
You know, that wasn't my first meeting in '77. I was sent to AA the first time, the 12-step program in 1971. You know.
Right.
So from 71 to 77, I've been in and out, you know, of the rooms and stuff, and everything, you know, just got worse and worse. Of course, it's the usual story. Things don't get better, you know, and, you know, I came in through the law, and then I came back on my knees, you know what I'm saying? And I had to take every drink and drug and everything that had to happen, I believe, to get me humble enough to the point where I could accept, you know, the precepts of the 12 steps. And since then, since September 25th, 1977, I haven't had a drink or a drug. And it's been a great experience, you know, wonderful.
Yeah. And, well, congratulations, man. That's just awesome. Well, listen, we're going to listen to this song. Introduce this song, Restless, Irritable, Discontent.
Well, okay, it's, you know, obviously taken from the big book, but it certainly described my first 2 years of sobriety, and people that I work with, you know, and I sponsor or I just talk with and encourage them in the early months of sobriety, certainly experience this feeling, you know, and it doesn't seem like things are going right, and you know, it's your sponsors basically seems to be on that one little loop of, you know, telling you to hang in there, what's the big book say, and, you know, just do these certain things and you'll be pulled through, you know.
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't seem like it's going to happen, but it happens.
You bet.
That's a good song.
All right, this is a great song. Like I said, it's one of our favorites here at Take 12 Radio on our music sets. Here's Joe Fingers, Restless, Irritable, and Discontent.
I'm restless, I'm irritable, I'm discontent. I once had serenity, don't know where it went. I'm calling up at 3 a.m., you know, just to vent, 'cause I'm restless, I'm irritable, I'm discontent. The people that I live with don't understand. They say they like me better as a drinking man. Don't know what I expected, but this ain't what I planned. The people that I live with don't understand. Oh, I'm restless, I'm irritable, I'm discontent. I once had serenity, I don't know where it went. I'm calling up at 3 a.m., you know, just to vent, 'cause I'm restless, I'm irritable, I'm discontent. My sponsor says to halt, he says to halt. Don't get too hungry, too angry, too lonely, or tired. I live on M&M's. I'm always coffee wired. My woman, she won't touch me. My boss wants me fired. Don't get too hungry, too angry, too lonely or tired. I'm restless, I'm irritable, I'm discontent. I want that serenity, I don't know where it went. I'm calling up at 3 a.m., you know, just to vent. Oh, I'm restless, I'm irritable, I'm discontent. My sponsor says to kiss, he says to kiss. Keep it simple, stupid, and he spouts more cliches. Now first things first, who's he calling stupid anyway? He thinks he knows it all, always asks what the big books say. Keep it simple, stupid, and he spouts more cliches. I keep coming back, this too shall pass. Next person telling me that I'm going to kick their ass. I want to hear it ain't drinking if I eat pills and smoke some grass. But just keep coming back, this too shall pass. I'm restless, I'm irritable, I'm discontent. I once had serenity, I don't know where it went. I'm calling up at 3 a.m., you know, just to vent. Cause I'm restless, I'm irritable, I'm discontent. My sponsor says get out, he says get out. Get out of my head and get to help somebody else. Think of them instead, I'm always thinking of myself. Send self-centered to the shed, put self-pity on the shelf. Get out of my head and get to help somebody else. I'm restless, I'm irritable, I'm discontent. I once had serenity, don't know where it went. I'm calling up at 3 a.m., you know, just to vent. I'm restless, I'm irritable, I'm discontent. Oh, I'm restless, I'm irritable, I'm discontent. I once had serenity, I don't know where it went. I'm calling up at 3 a.m., you know, just to vent. I'm restless, I'm irritable, I'm discontent. My sponsor says again, he says again. I'm restless, I'm irritable, I'm discontent. I once had serenity, don't know where it went. I'm calling up at 3 a.m., you know, just to vent. Cause I'm restless, I'm irritable, I'm discontent. 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 I'm restless, I'm irritable.
Restless, Irritable, and Discontent by Joe Fingas. He is a remarkable artist, and his actual name is Joe E. Fuller. Is E your middle initial?
Instead of being called Joe with a couple of people I used to play in the band with, they kept calling me Joe E, so I just emphasized the E on that.
I like that. That's great, so, Joe E. Fingers. That's really super. That's awesome. So let me ask you, as a man who's been around the rooms for quite a long time, and congratulations on all those years. What would you say is the biggest obstacle people face in actually recovering from alcoholism and addiction? What's the biggest obstacle in their way?
Well, okay, I would say, I don't know how to say this simply, but, first of all, I'll go through one of the truisms that, I believe a lot of people, because of that restless and that irritable, and anybody who's been through it know it's way more than that. It's just kind of like this overwhelming feeling of trying to escape whatever life has to offer. And usually when you're beginning to come into the rooms, you have consequences that you're facing as a result of your addiction, your alcoholism, or whatever. And not waiting around until the miracle happens. Not having faith that these people who have come before you, really can offer you a solution, because, you're plagued with all of the stuff, the withdrawal and the terror and the doing things you never did before, or just doing things you never did without the use of alcohol or drugs, And the other truism that I found in my life was you don't have to change much, just everything, and even though it's one step at a time, it becomes, a dreaded thing. And I know you go into this a lot, but and the battle about acceptance of a spiritual life.
Right.
A lot of people balk at that and big defeat in, and not really attempting. I don't know if they're capable. I just hope they stick around and let this kind of stuff settle in. Because this is a gradual thing. We live our way into sober thinking. We don't think our way into sober living. And
right.
That's just what. That's a difficulty. People have had their way or done what they wanted forever and figured that they could do anything they want to, and then this just becomes where we have to be patient, we have to let go, and we have to surrender. There's so many things that are contrary to our nature that have to happen, and I think that all those things are obstacles.
Sure. Wednesday we did a show on the kind of in a humorous manner. We called it the War of the Roses, 12-step style. The rift that tends to be between Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous sometimes, and how we feel that there are some differences, there are some different approaches, etc. But have you found today that really the rooms on both sides are, we've got a big mixture of folks, don't we? We have people that are narcotic addicts. We have people that are alcoholic only. We have people that are living with other compulsivities, codependency, and so forth. And we've got a big mix of people. True?
Well, oh yeah, we do here for sure. Everywhere I go, we do. And I can't. I can't see how you can exclude one for another.
Right.
And they do have in the AANA and other 12-step, fellowships, to have their debates and, attitudes and ideas down here for sure too. And which I think, pretty much gets in the way of, helping folks because, I always, I cut my teeth in AA and probably, that's where I go most of the time is Alcoholics Anonymous. But certainly NA, where we don't want to hear about they say we don't want to hear about the kinds and amounts of drugs you do. A drug is a drug is a drug is a drug. And they include alcohol, which is, a drug.
Right.
And that attitude, needs to be put into practice. It's like acceptance, is the key. And when it is put into practice, and it is, amongst more and more people down here, and I hope within the country and the world, a lot more people are helped. Looking at the similarities, not the differences.
Yeah, you bet. Because although narcotics and alcohol and inappropriate sexual behavior and food addiction and money problems, those are all they all come with their own set of problems. They're really not the issue, are they?
No, it's a spiritual malady, certainly.
Yeah.
And the 12 steps in any form, it's a spiritual approach, designed to help you deepen your commitment to whatever your chosen spiritual path is. This is a spiritual life we live. I believe that, it's the only way it's worked for me.
Yeah, you bet.
And for other people that I know too,
Right. Okay, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back and listen to the second song. The Wind Has Stopped. I just love this song, Joe. Man, one of the things that you do, you've got kind of a ballad style about you. You really tell it like it is. You listen to this music, and by the way, folks, these are songs off of Joe's CD called "Remember the Alano." And we're going to tell you how you can get one of these. But, when you listen to your music, I'm sitting there and I'm listening, the wind has stopped, and I'm thinking, yeah, I've been guilty of acting like, what this person is singing about. And I think the listeners are going to catch on when we play this. So, folks, hold that thought. We're going to be back here in just a couple of seconds, but we got to go to a break. Don't go away. More with Joe Fingas when we return. Hey,
Did you hear the one about the bear named Ben in the bar in Boise and his friend Barney who bent over backwards trying to help Ben avoid another bender? Well, the good news is both Ben the bear and his friend Barney now watch the new recovery television show Time to Heal with, no, not Betsy, but with Pam. That's right. It's Time to Heal with Pam, breaking the chains of addiction. To find out how you can tune into this beneficial broadcast, visit Take12radio.com and click on the Recovery TV link. That's Take12radio.com and click on the Recovery TV link to find out how you can view Time to Heal with Pam. And pat Ben the Bear and his friend Barney on the back, would you?
As men and women who have recovered from utterly hopeless states of addiction ourselves, we know all too well what it's like to battle addiction daily. We are Origins Recovery Centers. Here at Origins, we have taken that which we have learned along the way, excised anything unhelpful and unnecessary, infused it with the latest medical research and innovative therapeutic methods, and created what we know to be the absolute gold standard in substance abuse treatment. And Origins provides the most preeminent aftercare and relapse prevention program available in the United States. For a free confidential clinical assessment, call toll-free 888-843-8935. That's 888-843-8935. Origins, delivering real solutions for real families.
Serenity Springs Recovery Center, located on the beautiful east coast of Florida. A unique facility that is committed to providing exceptional individual care in small group settings while utilizing their experienced and dedicated clinical and support staff of licensed therapists and doctors. Visit their website, serenityspringsrecovery.com, or call 386-423-4540. Serenity Springs, making a life-changing investment into your recovery.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back, my friends, to another episode of Take 12 Radio. You know, I used to love to hang out at the piano bars, Joe. I used to love that. People said, "Oh, you were all high bottom drunk." I don't know if I was a high bottom drunk or not, but there was a mystique or something about sitting there with my whiskey in my hand, listening to, kind of a sultry, kind of dark, sultry kind of room with the piano and the guy. There'd be a guy on the drums, and all he really knew how to play was the hi-hat, Right. But there was just something about that, and I think part of it was because I've always enjoyed people that can tickle the ivories. I've always been a little jealous of that, and in a very wonderful, magical way. I just enjoy it so much, and of course in my sobriety, I can enjoy it even more. What a gift, man! And for you to share it with people is just so appreciated. So tell us about. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I just was going to say thank you.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. You're just amazing at it. Now tell us about this song, "The Wind Has Stopped."
Okay, I've always liked that. It's in the big book. There's a part where it says, we're like, I'm paraphrasing, but it's like after a big tornado's gone through the town, and you come out of your storm cellar, and the person says, I don't see anything the matter here in the great, the wind stopped. And what it brings to mind to me is that, just not drinking and sobriety, it's not enough. Although a lot of people, and I've been there too. You mentioned that. I mean, this is from practical and personal experience. Is where I'm thinking, well, why should you be on me? I stopped drinking. I've made changes, and this is not my fault. I don't have to do anything about this. It's basically saying, well, I did have a sponsee one time when I was talking to him about the 10th step. He kept on asking me. He said, well, if I've not done anything wrong that day, do I have to do a 10th step personal inventory? And I've been there too. It's like, well, where am I wrong? I'm sober.
Right.
My whole everything. When I have an attitude like that, it takes a little while, but people help me see that there's some things kind of falling apart. I got to take care of a few things, I have to get right in certain areas, and the way I'm treating people who I'm close to or love is, not acceptable. And just because I'm not drinking or drugging, that's not enough. I have to do some things. So that's basically what the song's about. And the person in the song is not even aware, of the difficulty,
Right.
Trying to tell probably by the lyrics.
And boy, can I identify with this song, listeners. I think you probably will be able to. If you can't, listen to it again and take an inventory, because I'm sure that you will if you're really honest with yourself. Check this out. This is The Wind Has Stopped. Joe Fingers.
Hey, mama, ain't it great? The wind stopped blowing. Let's celebrate. No need to cry about what is gone. We got each other. We can greet the dawn. The storm has passed. We're free and clear. I see no problem here. Hey, Mom, why so sad? You act like life has treated you bad. What's past is past, why bring it up? Me not drinking should be enough. But you act like there's much more to do. What's gotten into you? I don't remember you being such a drag, and I'd do more to repair the damage if you weren't such a nag. Now I don't want to blame you, but there's nobody else, unless I go and start blaming myself like it was my fault. The storm almost destroyed us all, like it's my fault. I encouraged the squall to wreck and just about ruin our house. God knows I didn't mean to louse it up like I did. I might look like a man, but I act just like a kid. Hey, mama, cut me some slack. Give me a chance to start earning back the faith and trust you had in me. You doubt me now, but you see, tomorrow I promise to do my best. Today I'll take my rest. There you go on and scoff. Call me procrastinator, say I'm putting things off. Just 'cause I take it easy, take my time. You act like I'm guilty of a terrible crime, when the real crime, far as I can tell, is you. Man, my life, I live in hell. Not that I don't love you, 'cause baby I do. But you've done bad things too, things I don't bother to bring up every day. Let's just drop it, what do you say? Hey mama, ain't it great? The wind stopped blowing, let's celebrate. No need to cry while what is gone. We have each other, we can greet the dawn. The storm has passed, we're free and clear. I see no problem here.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I just love Joe, how he turns it around and puts it on her. Well, you know, you've done things too. I don't bring that up.
Right. Yeah. I hate to admit it, but it's come out of my mouth a couple of times.
It's like, you know, I got a buddy who said, "Oh, so you got a driver's license? You're 42. What do you want, a marching band?"
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Okay, when you sit down to write a song, do you do the music first? Do you do the writing first? How's it go?
Well, okay, it's both really, but most of the time it'll be the hook, you know, the lyric. Most of the time, and it's usually like if I'm driving or really not even thinking about it, I'll get an idea. And then, I usually sit at the piano. I have a guitar or something that I strum on. I'm not, that great of a guitar player, but I can back myself up on the song I'm writing. But then I'll sit at the piano and maybe try to sketch out a melody. But I would say it's the hook. The first couple of lines of the song come to me first,
Right.
And,
right.
Then the work begins.
So how long does it take you from start to finish on an average?
Well, really, I'm not a guy who over things, and so I'm pretty quick. I can get, sometimes get them done in 30 minutes.
Wow.
And sometimes, it'll take a day or so, but really, I'm not a guy who slaves over a song for months and months. You can probably tell in the production of my albums, I like to go in there and just do them and get done with it as quick as I can, because I'm usually pretty well rehearsed. But I write the songs pretty quick.
One of the things that is impressive to me, though, is when an artist. I mean, it's nice, and I know there's a lot of work that goes into these major productions, these studio productions that people will do. They've got orchestration, backup, they've got sound effects, they got all this stuff that they're doing. But you know what's nice, Joe, is when you go to see somebody perform, and you're sitting there in the coffee shop or like at the 12-Step Music Fest or something, and then you pick up the CD and you're hearing the same thing you just heard. You're not hearing something that's overly produced. That's real. That's real to me. I love that.
And I like being real. I mean, because for a couple of reasons. One, that's the reason I want to play music. It's real to me. It's my lifeblood. I spent, I was a bum. I mean, I was a young bum, but I was a bum, and for enough time. And then, one thing I'll say, I was fairly young when I finally got sober, 25, but I had to learn how to live, period. I had to learn how to do everything and be responsible. I never was, other than to my mother and the kids. But, learning how to do things, I had to learn how to do things in sobriety. And so that kept me away from doing this, all the time that I love. And now I'm finally, since 2005, doing this full time. And, I want to be as real as I can be. This is a gift that, you say it is a gift I have, but it's also, the gift of second chances I got from recovery, and I'm going to make the most of it. And it's about giving back. That's what I love to do, and I want to be honest and open, in everything that I do, especially the thing I love to do.
Right.
And yeah, that's the one thing anybody will say, like me or not. They'll say, "Well, we at least we know what we're getting." You know.
Yeah.
What it is.
Okay, you and I have some mutual friends on Facebook and in the recovery community and so forth and so on that we both know, and you are very well loved, and you probably already know that, but I'm just going to tell you again because I hear a lot of great things about you. People mention to me that you're a man of integrity, and I appreciate that so much. But so let me ask you this. I asked you what you thought was the biggest obstacle for people. What is the thing that brings you the most joy when you see somebody working a recovery program? What really lifts your spirits?
What lifts my spirits really does?
When it comes to somebody else's recovery, when you're watching somebody going through the process, what's the thing that really lifts your spirits?
When the light goes on, and you can see the difference when their eyes are different. The light goes on. I mean, they really been there. They really put in the time. They put in the effort. They've let go of a lot of old ideas. They've humbled themselves. They, do things they don't want to do, and they don't. And then there's that moment when the lights go on, when they walk into a meeting or into a room with recovering friends, and they're just different. They're open, they're light, they're walking with the sunlight of the Spirit. They're different.
Yeah.
And that really, really, really is what I get the most benefit from other folks, and just the fact that they've done the time, and and the thing is that it always works if you are willing to go make the commitment. I mean, I hate to say always, because they don't even say that in the literature, but I can't think where I've seen it fail when people make the commitment. They got to go through some hard times, and that's what we're here for, to help them through that hard time.
Right.
They reach out for help, and but if they make that commitment, it's not going to fail them. This program won't fail them.
Yeah, you
their
bet.
Higher power, their God, won't fail them. It won't.
Yeah.
And I love to see it when it happens.
I love that part in the big book that says your Heavenly Father will never let you down.
It's true.
Yeah.
And and I know that you know this, and that's one of the great things about the 12-step fellowship is that it emphasizes that, but emphasizes of your own understanding and stuff, so you can get past a lot of this stuff that people come in with preconceived idea about things,
Mm-hmm.
and they find out that's not true, and that this will work for them. If they let it work.
Yeah, and you can start anywhere. You can start anywhere, but if you have that willingness, that's enough to make the start. And we've seen hundreds of people do it.
Oh yeah, and it'll take them to places they never thought possible. I mean, that's what happened. I'm sure it happened to you. I'm sure
you bet.
It happened to me. I never thought I would be. At the beginning, I thought I turned into a person I didn't think I'd like too much, but I'm sure glad I turned into that person.
Well, Joe, let's talk about some of the folks that help you put these CDs together. I've got two CDs in front of me. One's called Tales of Love and Coffee, which I enjoyed thoroughly, and then of course the one we're featuring here, Remember the Alano. And first of all, people can get your music by going to Joe Fingas, JoeFingas.com. Is that how they get the CD?
They should. I think I got it set up finally fixed so that CD Baby, you know, they can get my CD, they can order it, or they can go to CD Baby and download things or order the actual CD.
So if they go to CD Baby, if they go to CD Baby, do they type in Joe Fingas or do they type in Joe Fuller?
Joe Fingas.
Okay.
Joe Fingas.
Okay, Fingas. All right. So who are some of the people, you know, I always like to give artists a chance to give kudos to the people that have helped them, you know, with their music. Who are some of the people that's helped you through this?
Well, okay, the first guy in particular is the guy who's been the engineer with me all through this. His name is Paul Williams. He's living in Pennsylvania right now, but, you know, he's not actually a member of he's one of those friends of the fellowship. You know?
Right.
He's been a great supporter of mine, you know, and very interested in the recovery process, and he engineered both. You know, he mastered the Tales of Love and Coffee, and he engineered and mastered the Remember the Alamo. So him first and foremost, you know, and I would also have, you know, on the Tales of Love and Coffee, the co-producer Randy Bridges. You know, he's been supportive of me, you know, in a lot of ways, and even though we fight like, you know, cats and dogs, have all kinds of arguments, I have to say he was very supportive for that CD and the album and other things that I've endeavored on. The Unity group of Alcoholics Anonymous, I mean, there's a group of guys there and girls, you know, who, for a long time, I was like the only person who was a member of that meeting for a long, long time.
Wow.
And did it because it was one of the oldest meetings in the area and didn't want it to fold. And now mostly younger people, a couple of old-timers like me, and then mostly younger people have come in and taken over, you know, the responsibilities of that meeting and making it a great meeting, and they support my music all the way, you know, and so I really like that they're involved with that.
Yeah.
Another solo artist in the area who's also started a chapter of Rockers in Recovery in Northwest Florida. Her name is Stacy Hampton, and you'll probably be hearing some things about her in the recovering community pretty soon, I think. She's a young guitarist, singer-songwriter. She's been real supportive. Those are the folks I can think of right offhand.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. Kudos to all of them. Well, Joe, we are out of time. Any closing thoughts for the listeners?
Oh, I do want to mention Shep and CJ. I forgot them. And they've been with me all the way. Any closing thoughts is that, you know, this is a great life. It's a rockin' life. You know, I mean, it can give you all the joy and satisfaction and, you know, love and acceptance that you've been looking for. I mean, I didn't even know I was looking for it, you know. and then I come here and I get involved with this and I find exactly what I was looking for. It brings families back together. It, you know, it deepens your existence. You know, you become involved with a spiritual life, which is not sanctimonious, really. It's like full of life and full of humor and full of joy, you know.
Right.
Because it's given me my sense of humor back. You know, I didn't have it when I first came here.
Wow.
I didn't have it anymore, and I got it back, you know. And just a great number of people. You know, it's like I really played in Australia.
Yeah.
You know, that's what recovery is. Every day is like it's just an amazing gift, you know, and live right. It never fails to inspire. I guess those are my closing words. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Very good. Very, very, very well put. Well, listen, folks, Joe has supported us in the past. Please help support him. When you buy a CD, when you listen to this music, when you go to the website, you're helping to spread the good news and the hope of recovery to people that need it, people that have got it, people that are searching for it, and people that are doing the deal. You're helping involve yourself in the solution. So I just encourage you to visit Joe's website, Fingas, JoeFingas.com. Follow the links here at take12radio.com. And if you forget all about that, just go to our main page, and down at the bottom you'll see there'll be a banner there that'll take you right to Joe's website. Please support what he does. If you want to make a donation to him, you want to buy a CD or whatever. These things, it isn't cheap to put these things together, and I know that he's not rolling around in millions of dollars. Most of us aren't. We're just trying to do this thing one day at a time and give away what's been so freely given to us. Right, Joe?
That's exactly right. You know, and it's great, and it's also great to be back in touch with you, Monty. Missed you.
Well, thank you so much, and likewise. What a good deal. I just love it, and I look forward to it. Hopefully, we'll get back out to Florida again, and we'll be able to see each other and do the face-to-face deal. Have some coffee and listen to you play.
Oh, that'd be great. I love that.
That's awesome. All right, Joe, stay on the line. Don't hang up. Folks, Joe Fuller, a.k.a. Joe Fingas, our guest today here at take12radio.com. Check out his music. Remember the Alano. Go to his website. You can listen to some of his music on our music sets here right at take12radio.com. Until our next broadcast, this is the Monty Man, along with Joe, and we're wishing God's perfect serenity for you. Bye-bye, my friends.
This has been a broadcast of KHLT Recovery Broadcasting.
Kitty, 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 kitty.